and in today's video I'm just going to be doing something a little chill. So I've been having a bit of a day, really you could probably call it a bit of a year. 2023 has not been my year in personal life right now. I just feel like everything I do as far as project and timing and just life in general hasn't been going my way. Nothing too major, like nothing life altering, just one of those like everything I plan to do goes wrong in some way. To give you an example, my faithful sewing machine of 16 years died immediately starting this year on my first project. And now I'm having issues with my replacement, or I guess more of my temporary machine. And it's just, no matter how much I work on it, I can't get the tensions right. Like, they'll be right, and then I will sew one piece, and then I'll sew a different piece of the same project, and it's like the tensions reset. Fortunately, I complained to a friend of mine, and she's let me borrow her machine and try that out, so hopefully I can get something made. And it's not just that, it's a whole bunch of other things on top of the sewing machine thing. Like, I made camping reservations for the wrong camp on the wrong month. Despite having it written down in front of me, I still managed to do that. And I'm just feeling very tired, kind of discouraged, and I don't even feel the will to put on a wig today. So what I'm going to do is something just cozy and classic. And nothing says cozy to me like a Pinafore, because you can just put them over anything. They're so versatile. And the pattern I'm going to be using today is this mail order 3181. It is a size 16 and it's very close to my own measurements. I'll probably just go up a couple of sizes to be on the safe side. I'm going to be using this fabric here. It is a really cute gingham. It is a bed sheet. And I just really love the color, and I like gingham a lot. And I think it will just be very nice as a over everything kind of outfit. I personally love pinafores because it's one of those when I don't really feel like getting dressed up, I can just throw on a blouse and then throw a pinafore over top. It's one of those I don't really need to think about it very much. I just put it on and go. And they're just so comfy, and I usually make mine pretty long so they feel very protecting. I think I could just use a little of that right now, that little comfort. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, with that, let us begin. The first step to a low energy sewing day is to pop a squat while I trace and cut my fabric. I made a mock-up of the bodice the day before, sizing the pattern up 2 sizes and making adjustments to let out the bust more. Now, in a previous life, this fabric was a full-size top sheet from Martha Stewart collection. I believe it was this gingham check in quite gray, to be specific. Ooh, 300 count. Very fancy. This pinafore didn't have pockets, so I added what I like to call slide into the DM pockets. It's cut much like a normal side pocket, but one side is cut diagonally across the top to line up with a matching diagonal cut along the front skirt panel. I briefly debate cutting the skirt using the manufacturer's generous hemline on this bedsheet, but that corner though. I decide it will be too much hassle and forgo the whole idea. With all my pieces cut and leftovers folded, I am ready to start tomorrow for a full day of sewing. The first step is to French seam the pockets by joining them wrong sides together, flipping the insides out, and then encasing the raw edge in another seam. I line the diagonal edges of the pocket and the skirt and join them before folding the pocket over and top stitching in place. I tuck the pockets in place with Sir Paul III volunteering as my buddy, making sure it is secure. Good job. After the pockets are done, I sew all the darts. The front darts on the original pattern are massive, which is great as I don't need to adjust the bust so much as just take out the darts. I wonder if that was the intention, as this pinafore was designed and intended for teenagers. The bust could be let out as the girl aged and developed. That would also explain the awkward ruching in the front too, as you'll need more room for when you let out the bust. Interesting food for thought. I joined the side seams and shoulders now as well. I finished the seams with a zigzag stitch and folded over remnant pieces of seam and bias tape in various colors of blue and sort of green. While I'm at it, I also stitched together 2 pieces of waist tape to use later for taping the waist. As indicated on the original pattern, I make 2 loose running stitches in the front for that awkward ruching I talked about earlier. Then I join the side seams and finish those seams much like the bodice with bias tape. For the zipper opening, I use a bias tape that is shorter on one side and join it to the other side, going over that in a longer piece. That way it can lay flat for the zipper insert and I don't waste as much bias tape. Once the skirt is bound, I make proper bias tape to finish the armholes and neckline. I finished the armholes without any issue, but the neckline gave me some grief. Turns out if you use the incorrect method for making a mitered corner, you're going to have not mitered corners. But I made it work with minimum wonkiness, so it's good enough for me. I joined the bodice to the skirt after ruching the front down, and then I try it on. I like it overall, but I am not crazy about the gathers in front. I think it draws the eye to my belly, which is my no-no feature, and I don't want it highlighted. Also, I'm not a fan of how low the waistline hangs in the front. It does technically hang at my waistline, but I have a slightly longer than average torso with some stubby legs. And I would rather have my clothes sit a little higher as to not make that so obvious. I mark where I folded the fabric with barely perceptible blue chalk. And then I go over that blue chalk mark with a dotting of permanent marker. It measures about 5 centimeters at the front and about 2 centimeters at the back before I take the plunge and just start cutting into this bodice. Wish me luck. Next, I remove the gathers and test out different pleating methods before settling on 2 darts on either side. I think this looks much more slimming and less highlighting of my food barrel. I rejoin the bodice to the skirt, opting to serge the seam as to keep the bulk down. I did not feel like rethreading my whole serger for this, so it is finished in black. However, this won't be a problem as I fold the waist tape from earlier over the serged edge and it disappears. Magic. I finished the hem with more bias tape, doing a double stitch along the bottom because it looks pretty. Then I add the zipper. I go for the long running stitch with zipper top stitched in place method. It looked fine until I cut open the seam too far down and now I've got a hole. Whoops. I'll hand stitch that close and it's time for the reveal. And there you have it, another project down. I really like how this came out. I really have to stop telling myself that you're a size 18-20 because I had to go up a couple of sizes to get to this, but I think it fits really nicely. At least I like the way it fits. I like the darts in the front too. I think they look a lot better than having the ruching up here because I feel like that just like is maternity-like. Because I carry a lot of my weight in my stomach, I'd rather have the pleats because at least that feels slimming. I really like how this project came out. It was very easy breezy cover girl, which I really appreciate because I have been in a bit of a mood, kind of a funky mood the last few weeks. So being able to start and finish a project pretty much in one day was pretty fantastic. And I, again, like how it fits. I love this color. It's so cute. I love pastel-y colors, and it's perfect for springtime. Plus, I like that I could wear this over a blouse like this, or it could be a nice springtime dress just on its own because it has a good coverage and support everywhere. And I do really like these pockets. I love doing the drop-in pockets because they're just so easy. The zipper is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. A lot of my projects lately I've been avoiding doing zippers just because I've been feeling a little about my weight and body, and it just hasn't been feeling all that comfortable to put on things that are super fitted. But this doesn't feel too fitted. It feels just right. You know, it's my Goldilocks dress. It kind of looks like Goldilocks. I just need to get a blonde wig. As far as grading goes, I would say this was an A+ because I used this material that I had already had on hand. It was gifted to me. And the zipper I also had in my stash. I think this would be really cute with a little bit of trim or buttons on it just to style it up. But for now this is fine because this is mostly going to be an accessory over clothes, so I don't want to get too detailed with it. But I do want to make another one and use up trim and buttons to get rid of some of that stuff. Maybe I'll make one in pink or black. Maybe I'll make a goth Pinafore. That would be really cute. For now though, this is good. I have been considering, I'm not sure if you'd be interested, but I've been considering making PDF patterns and selling them on Etsy. I do have an Etsy account, I just haven't used it in a long time. But I really like this Pinafore, and I feel like I've done some significant changes, particularly sizing it up and changing the way it's constructed. I think it might be cute to put online if any of you are interested in that kind of endeavor. I've never made a PDF pattern before, but I would like to try. And with that, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing. I release a new video every other Sunday, and sometimes a Sunday in between with a bonus video. Until next time, you have a good day. Bye!